Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are your KTAR car guys. Heard here every Saturday from 11 to noon at Bumper to Bumper Radio. We're here to help you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. If you got car questions, we've got answers, so give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And today a little different. We're out at the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo. So come on down and see all this amazing boats.
You can come down and hear these dogs barking in person instead of just over the radio, right?
They got dogs like flying through the air in a big old pool over there.
Yeah, they've got a fetching competition. These dogs are launching like the long jump after their wooden tree branches or whatever the heck they're throwing out there. But pretty cool event out here, Dave.
Well, today on the Bumper to Bumper Radio Show, we're going to have the car tip of the week, open phones, and, you know, the rules have changed in auto repair and maintenance, and I think so many people think cars are just maintenance-free anymore. And they're not maintenance-free, they're just maintenance-less. But you used to go to the auto shop 5 times a year. That was normal.
Yeah, if you're driving 3,000 miles, or 3,000 mile oil change, 15,000, bam, 5 times. That's a lot to see your mechanic.
Now, you're getting oil change maybe every 5,000 miles, and that's cut that back to maybe 3 trips to the shop a year. But cutting it back means you can't skip it. It's more important now that you get into the shop before now than ever.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Dave, they're not maintenance-free. They're less frequent maintenance, you know what I mean? So, but you're right. You go in between, you skip one, you miss something, and things really start going haywire. I mean, these cars are built so well, you could really ignore your car. If you're going to keep your car 3 years, 45,000 miles, I bet you'd have a hard time finding one that you couldn't do anything but just put gas in. But you know what? You're going to destroy. You'll absolutely ruin that car. Yeah. Right. Well, even you're going to hurt the resale value and everything. But, you know, I guess we talked a little bit about still what are the most important maintenance items that we're going to do on the car, regardless of whether it's a brand new car, 5-year-old car, or maybe even a 10-year-old car.
Well, oil change is the most common thing. Everyone, you know, we're all religious for years about 3,000-mile oil changes, and we've seen that grow. And I get afraid because some of these manufacturers put out these long, extended oil change services that people buy into that stuff. And I don't want to see an oil change go past 7,500 miles for some vehicles. For most, 5,000 miles is really tops.
Well, and you've got to be careful. I mean, and Dave, what's happened in there, it's the marketing department, and then there's the reality department, and there's a combination in between there somewhere. And yeah, I mean, but you do have to be careful because there's some manufacturers, I look in the owner's manual still, and you see a 3,000-mile oil change. Now, maybe that's like on a Dodge product where they've extended out that warranty to 100,000 miles. Well, they're going to hold your feet to the fire. You don't get to come in and say, but gee, I used really good synthetic and I changed it every 6,000 instead of 3,000. They'll say, well, congratulations, but you didn't monitor the guidelines, so now you're not in warranty anymore. So you've got to watch that. But I agree. These manufacturers that are telling you once a year or 15,000 miles, I cut those to 7,500, and I think most cars can be 5,000.
Well, you said before the show good fuel. Now, I don't really think I just get gas. There's a gas station here. There's a gas station over there. What do you mean good fuel?
Well, you want to be using a top-tier fuel in your car, which is, you know, there's a website, toptier.org, or top-tier gasoline. Very easy to Google. But oil and good fuel are the 2 biggest things that are going to keep your car running clean and running right. You get bad fuel, bad oil, infrequent maintenance. That's when you're going to start to see the problems that we're seeing on direct injection engines, the problems that you're going to see on oil sludging, crankcase ventilation issues. It's so important. They don't want to let any emissions out of these cars. So all those vapors and everything from the oil is getting burned and ingested back through the engine. And just using a bad mix of that oil or a poor quality oil or letting it go too long is not going to be good for the car. So, especially with all the plastic components and such.
So you're going to buy a car, let's say in the first 100,000 miles, you're going to maybe get 2 sets of tires, maybe brakes a couple times.
Yeah, a couple at least, probably.
Some of the things, so brakes, tires. I think of some of the repairs that we see in our shop because someone skipped on maintenance. And for me, working at a transmission shop, the biggest thing we see worn-out transmissions that never got serviced. And the idea is to avoid the catastrophic failure or the breakdowns that cost you so much money. So you can spend a little money, take care of it, or spend a lot later.
Well, a transmission service these days is not inexpensive. I mean, I guess you can get any kind of service you want. If you're willing to pay $90 for a service, I give you a $90 service. It's kind of like buying that crappy old 49-cent cheeseburger. It's not very good. It works.
I like the value menu cheeseburgers, actually. But.
Well, I do too sometimes, but there's other times when you need to eat a good meal, and that's what you need if you want to protect your transmission. You need a good service. They're not cheap, but neither is buying a new transmission prematurely either, right?
That's true. And I don't know that I feel that the service on your transmission that you get at the car wash is sufficient. There's 100 ways to do it. But the one thing that I run into all the time, people say, oh, it's sealed, you don't need to service it. And I'm here to tell you, I still, I've seen a sealed transmission like I've seen a unicorn. I just haven't seen one. Now,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting, but there's still this perception out there that they're sealed. And they did take the dipstick away, so the average consumer can't check their transmission fluid. But because of that came the myth of the sealed transmission.
Well, I mean, Dave, look at where that myth came from. I think it came from the shops or the quick lube environments, where what that really means, it's code word for we don't have the tools or the technology to do it right,
so we don't want to do it.
So we're going to call it sealed. I mean, we're stuck on transmission a little bit. I had to check the transmission fluid in my truck. There's a whole graph and a whole process for checking that. At one temperature setting or 1 degree, we've got to look at the scanner. We've got to see what that transmission fluid temperature is. And based on that temperature, it should be at this point on the dipstick or on the gauge. Well, you add 10 or 15 more degrees of fluid. Well, now the fluid level gets measured in a different way. So just the old day of pulling up to the gas station, having Gomer Pyle check the fluid.
Cletus.
Yeah, it isn't good.
So, I mean, another maintenance that we never hear about is valve adjustments.
Right.
On these cars, valve adjustments, you never hear about them, but that's one of the maintenances that gets overlooked, and you end up with a problem with your car. And it's one of those things, I think you said, like in Hondas, we talk about Hondas and valve adjustments. It is in their maintenance manual. It says adjust valves if they're noisy.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite is true. They're not noisy because they're loose. They actually get too tight.
Yeah, a noisy valve will make noise. You'll have that a little rattle in the engine, a little bit more rapid than the revolution of the engine, and that could be a valve adjustment issue. But again, a lot of shops they're not equipped to do it. They're equipped to do the easy work, and that's what they do. Or sometimes, you take a Honda V6, whether it's in a Pilot or a Odyssey or something, that's not an inexpensive repair. You've got a couple $100 worth of just valve covers and 32 little grommets that you should use to reseal that. But we see people, it's a common problem. You get a check engine light on, lean running condition, a valve adjustment fixes the problem. And it's not very often that we see maintenance items actually repair a car. Like a fuel filter, for example. That's something that you can overlook. It might make your car run bad before it ruins the fuel pump if it's causing the fuel pump to work harder, but maybe not.
Well, in the first 100,000 miles, some of the other things you're going to buy cabin filters. I mean, what can I expect as a car owner? And I think a car owner should get familiar with their manual. Now, their manual is the basic. These are the things you've got to do.
Minimum required maintenance.
Minimum required maintenance. So if you're going to, some of these cars where they have a 100,000-mile warranty like you suggested, you've got to at least do what's in there. So you should be familiar with it, but then you should run it alongside your trusted mechanic that you have a relationship with that's seen the experience. So at your shop, you're going to recommend valve adjustments on Hondas because you see problems with that.
Yeah, because they're not making noise because they're not loose. So the manual's just a little bit wrong there. But you know what makes me happy too? I love it when the customer wants to get involved in their repair. They don't just take what we say necessarily. I mean, there's some of those. They say, you know what? I'm dropping the car off, and I'm going to pick it up, and I don't care what happens in between.
I trust you.
I need my car, and I don't really want to – I don't care. It doesn't mean – that's Greek to me, and I don't want to learn Greek. Okay? But then I really like it when someone comes in with their owner's manual and say, what is this? Why are we doing this?
Right.
Or why aren't we doing it? Or when your shop tells you need something on your car, and you say, wait a minute, it's not in my owner's manual. that doesn't mean you have to have a confrontation. And, some people out there want to say, well, what is it? If there's no symptom, there's no this, we're not going to do that, or what are you going to fix with that? No, you want to have a conversation and say, okay, well, my book says I'm supposed to do this at 100,000, but you're telling me 50. Or you're telling me I should service my fuel injection system, but I don't see that anywhere in here. I love to explain to people why we're doing that and demonstrate the benefits and how that will help them, and they become part of that repair, and I think it shows a little more pride of ownership maybe.
Well, you're listening to Matt and Dave in the Bumper to Bumper radio show. Today we're at the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo at Westworld. This thing is going on till 6 o'clock today. All kinds of fun for the family. Matt brought his kids. He just turned them loose.
Oh, man, if you need a babysitter, you just come out here, give them $10, and go get a snow cone and a slice of pizza, and I don't know, I guess I'll find them later.
Have at it. Check in once in a while.
They're fishing and all kinds of stuff.
Get a hold of us at 602-277-5827. One thing I don't want to forget quick is the biggest thing that people are going to deal with, the unexpected trip to the auto shop, is going to be batteries.
At this time of year, battery and charging system related are some of the biggest things. And these batteries fail without warning. So,
like a light bulb many times. So if you've got a battery that's been in your car for 2 to 3 years, you should start to be thinking about getting a battery. You can choose when you get a battery, or your car can choose for you. We use Interstate batteries at our shop, and we have for years, and it's a great trusted band.
And then even for all the outdoors people out here looking at these boats and these motorhomes and everything that's out there, all these vehicles have batteries, and Interstate Batteries has a battery for whatever you need, whether it's a big giant RV, a little boat, maybe a bass boat. You can count on Interstate Batteries for those.
When we come back, we're taking your calls. You listen to Matt and Dave on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Russ Lyons Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's lisareneehenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are your KTAR car guys. A little something different today. We're at the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo. This is amazing. It's a good thing I don't have my wallet today.
Yeah, the kids are looking at these boats over here going, we want this one, we want this one. I bet we do. There's a lot of I could take 2 or 3 of them and have room for them. There's you get the party barge and the
I might see if I can go
boat.
catch a fish in that little pond over there.
Yeah.
Hey, I went to catch a fish in that little pond yesterday. It was pretty cool. This is Bree the board up. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
I'm doing good, thanks. Anyhow, we've got Dino on the line with a car question.
Dino, what's going on? What can I help you with today?
I've got a 2011 Ford Escape. It's got the 2.5 liter V4 or inline four, sorry. And it's got a vibration when it's in gear. And then it also has a shuttering that randomly occurs when I'm decelerating.
When you're decelerating, you said?
It's not consistent by any stretch. It'll go for weeks, but then it all of a sudden will happen. And
This vibration, you just feel it mostly when you're idling at a stop?
Yes. If you throw it in neutral, it goes away.
Okay.
And Dino, how many miles are on the car?
I'm about to tick over to 130,000.
Okay. Well, wow, you're putting some miles on it then. Well, thanks for the call, Dino. Dave, what do you think? And I already know where you're going.
Right off the bat, I'm thinking motor mounts. When you put it in gear, you're gonna put a little load on the motor and start to lug it down. And when motor mounts are bad, that's when it's going to show up. The other thing you talked about was vibration coming up to a stop. It tends to load the motor the other direction. So I think we got a motor mount issue and maybe a mount that's grounding out. And motor mounts, we talked about them here recently on our show. They're made of rubber, 130,000 miles. Chances are, if he's got the original mounts in there, they're sagged out and it's time for new ones.
Yeah, when I first heard you say the term grounded mount, I'm thinking electrical in my head. That's where I'm going.
Right.
And what you're talking about is that rubber just collapses. So it's like that mount is sitting on the ground. There's nothing there to dampen the vibrations. And this was a classic example. I mean, in the early 80s, front-wheel drive cars, all the time people would come in the shop saying, hey, I need a tune-up. Well, they don't need a tune-up. The car runs fantastic. It's just those vibrations are getting transferred through the engine or through the chassis because the rubber cushioning is basically gone. So
and I think that's one of the ways you might check that in your driveway, and people do, is they put a floor jack underneath the engine with a block of wood on top of it. And with the thing vibrating in gear, they just boost up the motor just a little bit, and that vibration changes. That's a key indicator.
Yeah.
Because the mount can look fine, it's just squished out. There's just nothing left in it.
Now, if you're jacking up the car and you start to lift the car, you're going too hard. You only need to move that, half an inch. Yeah, exactly. And you can do that with the hood up and do that. So, again, thanks for the call, Dino, and hopefully that helps you. Bree?
Yep, we have Rob in Mesa. He's got a 2004 Toyota Sienna.
Hey, Rob, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you?
Yeah, I've got this Sienna, and I am burning through tires about once every 2 years on it. And I have the alignment checked and the toe checked and everything else, and everything's good. And I just keep getting this outside wear on the front tires, and then when I rotate them, it translates to the new tires on the front, and I'm just burning through tires like crazy. And I've talked to some other people with Sienna, and they seem to have the same problem I do, and I'm just trying to figure out if there's a solution or if it's just a problem.
And you are getting an alignment every time you get tires?
Yeah.
And how many miles do you drive in a couple years?
Oh, maybe 15,000.
Oh, wow. So you're burning tires in 15,000 miles?
No, he said a couple of years at him, so he gets about 30,000 miles out of it.
It's always just burning. No, it's about every 15,000 miles I'm replacing tires on at least two. And it's just wearing on the outside edge of them.
Now, there's some cars, I mean, we used to see the Lexus LS400 when that came out, mid-'90s. Those things used to just eat tires. The characteristic of the car, because it was a sedan, but it was really a sport tire on the car. So that's just how it ate the tires. Now, I'm assuming you're using a good brand of tire, not the back shelf Acme brand or something.
Four for 100.
No, I'm getting them all. I usually get them from Costco, and they're usually the BF Goodrich type tires.
Okay, so it should be a good call, or a good tire. Well, thanks for calling. And I'm thinking alignment, but Dave, my dad had a new Chevy truck in '99. He had the same problem with it wearing tires. Well, it just happened that our alignment machine didn't have the updated specs in it. There was a technical service bulletin for new alignment specs. Actually, it was for a pulling problem on the freeway, a slight pull. So we need to make sure that the shop has the most up-to-date alignment specs. Maybe they don't need to count on their machine. You should ask them if there's a service bulletin or updated specs. And then the other thing, maybe you've got to find an alignment shop. Like in Central Phoenix, sometimes we refer to Jack's Wheel Alignment. Those guys can go in and say, no, I don't care what Toyota says. I'm going to set this to where I know it's not going to wear the tires. And so sometimes maybe the specification just isn't good enough. We've got to modify from that.
And they just have the experience to do that. The other thing I was thinking about was, a broad shoulder tire. When you go shopping for tires and you look at tires, you can see some tires are kind of more domed. when you're looking from the side. And some have a much broader shoulder. And when I think of a minivan, it's kind of a top-heavy vehicle. So when you lean into a turn, there's a lot of body roll, and you're wearing that outside edge. And sometimes I wear tires out all the time because I just drive. I'm cornering hard, and I drive hard, and so maybe his wife is driving it too crazy.
Yeah, I don't get that impression, but 15,000 miles.
No, I would not be happy with that deal. After about the second set, I would be looking for something else.
Well, and tires are one of those things. I mean, they're you've got to take care of it, and it sounds like he's doing what he is supposed to be doing. With that, maybe the next bet is to go buy the tires from the people that do the alignment, and then they can be married to the tires possibly.
Yeah, couldn't be happy with 15,000 miles on a set of tires. Now, I mean, it brings up a good topic, and we're talking about how much service you're going to do your car in the first 100,000 miles. Well, you may buy two sets of tires. I mean, tires, I see them go anywhere from 30 to 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
And some of these have crazy mileage rating, like, it's an 80,000-mile tire.
That's like that 10-year battery. It never happens.
It never happens, right? So right. You're not going to get 80,000 miles out of a tire, but between 30 and 50,000 miles is reasonable. You know, I mean, I know on your truck, how many miles did you get in your first set of tires?
41,000 miles out of my BFG kind of all-terrains that came on the Toyota stock. Yeah, but the other mistake that people make, Dave, is again like that Lexus I mentioned. It's a sports tire on a sedan. That's a sports sedan. You really don't want to be moving your tires around. There's different speed ratings, and people say, gee, I'm not going to go 105 miles an hour. Well, we understand you're not going to drive, hopefully not 105,000 or 105 miles an hour at times, but the car is designed around the structure of that tire, how there's spring rate calculations that go into the tire. There's all kinds of engineering in the tire that translates into how the car works. So it's important to stick with what the car is supposed to have.
When we come back, we got open lines at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys from the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo. We'll be right back.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service, and we'll match it for the kids.
For the Summer of Love, go to bumpertobumperradio.com today.
Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission. Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Have you been told you need to spend over $4,000 on a new hybrid battery? Hi, Glenn Hayward here for the Hybrid Shop at Goodworks Auto Repair. If your hybrid has been losing fuel efficiency or become sluggish, the problem may be a battery issue. But replacing the battery with the dealer for $4,000 or $5,000 is crazy, when the Hybrid Shop at Goodworks Auto Repair can condition your battery to like new for as low as $1,300. Visit goodworksautorepair.com for details. Experience what auto service should be.
Golfers, come join us for one last cool getaway this summer with Bunker to Bunker's popular two-person scramble. We're headed to the spectacular Tom Fazio Mountain Course at the award-winning Lodge at Ventania Canyon in Tucson on Saturday, August 22nd. An incredible value, the tournament is just $89. which includes lunch, prizes, big raffle, and a free golf bounce back coupon when you help us support Special Olympics. Room rates start at just $95 per night. Great location, great value, the perfect way to end summer. Go to bunkergolf.com for details.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
All right, today's a little different day. We're doing Bumper to Bumper Radio from the Get Outdoors show out here at Westworld. So if you want to come join us, Dave and I are hanging out here till noon, answering questions and seeing what's going on out here. And a lot of people ask, what is this Bumper to Bumper Radio thing all about? There's people standing around here. And Bumper to Bumper Radio is Dave and I, Dave Riccio, Matt Allen. We both own repair shops. I own Virginia Auto Service in Central Phoenix. Dave is the transmission expert with Tri-City Transmission in Tempe. And together, we pair up and we're your KTAR car guys. And we're here to help you with your car. We come in every single Saturday and do this, help you answer questions, help you put you in your comfort zone when it comes to getting your car fixed. And the other people that help us do that is the great network of shops you will find at Bumper to Bumper Radio. These are the shops. They're in your community. You're going to run into these owners at church, at the soccer game, at your kids' school. Wherever you are, that's where the people of that make up Bumper to Bumper Radio are too. They're the people in your community. And one of those things that we do is we also help in the community. Right now we've got our Summer of Love promotion going on. And we're helping raise money for Phoenix Children's Hospital. We've done it every year with the KTAR Radiothon. And so we thought we'd get warmed up a little bit early. You can go visit any one of the Bumper to Bumper radio shops. It doesn't matter if you're getting your car fixed or not. You can stop in, donate $1 or donate $5, and the shops are matching it. Every year we've done this, we've got over $10,000 for Phoenix Children's Hospital, and we're hoping to grow that number this year and every other year. And on the phone, we've got one of our Bumper to Bumper shops, Frank from Desert Car Care. Of course, he's participating in the Summer of Love promotion, but he's taken his a little bit further. Frank, I think you've got some love you're passing on to the teachers with your program, right?
We are, guys. Amazing. I hope Westworld is treating you well. That's awesome. And we are. Summer of Love is about giving back. And I would just add to our promotion with our Phoenix Children's Hospital event, we are going to double every dollar that comes into our service base. We want to get this drive to the next level. And yes, we've got next Saturday our 4th annual free oil changes for teachers. We want to express our gratitude to all of our teachers. It's a way of saying thank you. And it's a straight-ahead oil change that we're doing next Saturday from 8 to 12 at the Chandler location.
So all these teachers need to do for a free oil change and get to know Frank and the crew at Desert Car Care, show up at the Chandler location, desertcarcare.com, or you can search that and you want to go to the Chandler location. And Frank will be out there. You show up and you're going to get a free oil change. And you're just doing that all day Saturday, right, Frank?
That's right. And, we do about 60 to 80 of these oil changes the day of, and we are vouchering. We want to take care of everyone. We are setting up these vouchers all the way through October 31st. It's a true way of just sending out the love to our teachers. So if they can't get in on that Saturday, visit our website. There's vouchers. And we'll get everyone taken care of. It's awesome.
Hey, my wife's a school teacher, so I'll be out there.
Can I got it, Matt.
Can I bring a few extra cars?
Yeah, can I just get the $15 instead? No. Hey, Frank, thanks for calling in today, taking some time out of your day. And,
thank you, guys.
And I know the other thing, Dave, think about Frank's shop. They're closed on Saturdays. That crew is coming in. They're giving their Saturday off. They're giving it back, and they're working all day for free. So that's really fantastic, and that's the kind of things that happen with the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Well, you can get a hold of us at 602-277-5827. Hey, Bree, who do you got up next for us?
Alrighty, up next we've got Jim from Tucson with the 2006 Jeep Liberty.
Hey, Jim, you are on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you with your Liberty?
Hi, guys. I have a situation where I go to the gas station, I check my gas, and I fill up with oil. I'm just going through oil right to left. And I need to know what I can do about that.
And this is how many miles on your Jeep?
220,000.
Wow. Well, I'm less shocked with the 220,000 miles, quite honestly. But, Dave, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think these cars, we're seeing these cars burning oil. And I think it was BMW that said it's okay to burn 3 quarts in between or 4 quarts in between an oil change, some crazy figure.
Hey, Jim, how much oil are you actually going through? Do you know?
I go through about a quart every tank full of gas.
So that's every 200 to 300 miles you're using a quart.
About 400 miles I go through a quart.
That's too much.
The engine's getting to where it needs to be. It's going to need some major repair. Where's that oil going?
Well, yeah, what's happening, Jim, thanks for the call, by the way. I appreciate you calling in, and we're going to start hearing more about this stuff, Dave. You could just have a worn-out engine. You might have worn out some rings. We don't know how that car was treated all those prior 200,000 miles if you're the original owner or not, and doing your 3,000 to 5,000 mile oil change, maybe it's not worn out. We talk about the importance of fuel, good oil. You could have compression rings in the engine or oil control rings that are carboned up and full of junk and soot, basically, and that could be causing it to burn oil. You could have hardened valve stem seals causing it to burn some oil. There's a number of different things. The crankcase, the PCV valve. Everybody thinks the PCV valve. These things have complicated or complex crankcase ventilation systems now. You could have a problem there where the crankcase ventilation is not working right, and you could be drawing that oil into the engine. And the other thing that's going to happen when you're burning this oil, pretty soon you're going to ruin your catalytic converter. So the solution, I don't know. You might have a worn-out engine. You could try using some Techron, which is a fuel additive, to try and clean some of the carbon out of the engine. Next time you go in for your oil change, you could try some of the different flush chemicals that the shop have. We use a product from BG at our shop. You might be able to use some of those, quote, snake oils and fix by cleaning something. Now, if you have a mechanical problem, you can put additives till you're blue in the face. It's not going to fix a mechanical problem.
I don't know that he ever needs an oil change because he's always got fresh oil in it.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Just screw a new filter on once in a while.
That's all he's got to do. So thanks for the call, 602-277-5827. Hey, Bree, who do you have for us next?
Bill from South Phoenix with a 98 Cadillac DeVille.
All right, Bill, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you?
Yes, sir. I bought the car. I'm the second owner, and it overheats, and I don't know if my fans are coming on or if my thermostat's plugged up.
Tell me a little bit more about that overheating. How long does it take it to get hot, and what conditions are you driving it in when it does overheat?
Okay, I could go like 3 or 4 miles, and then the temperature starts going up. And then I could stop, and then it'll cool down, and I can continue, and then the instrument panel says I better pull over and cut it off. So, but I never heard my fan come on. I have 2 of them in front of the radiator.
Yep. Does your air conditioning work?
No, I disconnected it because it went out.
Okay.
And I have a serpentine belt, and it's all in one, and I didn't want to tear up the belt, so I just bypassed the air conditioner.
Okay, so you probably unplugged the compressor, but what I think you could still do, and thanks for the call, by the way, and I'll try and give you some tips. You can maybe figure it out yourself or at least do some things so you can bring some information to the shop. And, Dave, one of the first things I'm doing, if I'm going out checking a car that's overheating right now, and it is the one with electric cooling fans, the first thing I'm doing is I'm turning on the air conditioner, because when you turn on the AC, both of those fans should come on. There's going to be, sometimes there's 2, where there's a condenser fan and a radiator fan. Sometimes there's just 1. And so both those fans should be working. If they're not, that's our first starting point. Now, if we've got fans that are working, there's no air restrictions, the front of the radiator is not plugged up with bugs and sand and debris or a plastic bag or something that you picked up off the road, then I'm going to start thinking about a plugged up radiator, a thermostat that's not opening properly. And you can tell that by, you have to know which hose to touch. Is this one hot? Is that one cold?
So also the coolant level also is a key factor. If it's because you can, even though you don't have a leak, if the coolant is going in the combustion chamber, you're not going to see a leak on the ground, but you could be low on coolant. So that's also a...
Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention some of the basics. Always start with the basics. I assume the basics. We've got a good pressure cap. We've got it full of coolant, clean coolant. and the water's flowing. And which, by the way, guys, anybody out there, whether you're working on your car at home or you're broken down on the side of the road, please be careful with the radiator cap. You do not want to end up in the burn unit with the skin melted off of your arm, because it will happen. That stuff is hot.
Speaking of which, I see people broken down on the side of the road, and the first thing they do is open their hood. What are they looking for?
I don't know. That's the last thing I'm going to do if I break, because there isn't a darn thing underneath that hood that I can fix on the side of the road.
Pretty much the only thing is you might find a loose battery cable or something like that, but other than that, there's not much you can do. And when the car's hot, you don't want to touch anything. You're getting burned.
Yeah, and the other thing is people might even go open the radiator and there's nothing in there, and then they start to pour water in. Then that radiator is like The Exorcist. It's just vomiting hot fluid back on you because there was nothing there. You poured the water in, it superheated it fast, and it just throws it right back out boiling hot. So just please be careful if you find yourself in that situation.
602-277-5827. Hey, Bree, do you have someone up for us?
Yep, we've got Rich from Phoenix with an 06 Charger.
Hey, Rich, you are on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you with that Charger?
Hi there. So this morning when I was on my way to work, I went to start the car, put it in reverse, and it is locked in park.
Well, you could not get it out of park at all?
That is correct. So I called the dealer, talked to the service guy, walked me through what he thought was, I pulled the center console thing out. There's a pink tab in there that he had instructed me that you just shift that over and that'll override it, but that didn't work. So I placed a call into, which Dave will probably get my message, but I called and left a message at your office this morning for some advice.
Okay.
And so anyways, I'm just trying to see what, because I know that it's a little bit difficult to tow, knowing that it's in my garage, and with it being stuck, it's hard to back out.
The first thing that came to mind is exactly the answer you got when you called the dealership. There is a park shift interlock. It's a safety feature that had to be on cars roughly around the year 2000, I think is when they came
way
out.
before that.
Now, they put them on there before, but it wasn't mandatory until
right.
2000. But if your foot is not on the brake, you can't get the car out of park. Well, when that malfunctions, you're not going to get the car out of park. So he told you, hey, there's a bypass on the console where you can bypass that, for this situation. So that's one thing that it sounds like that may not be the case. The next thing I think of is maybe the shifter itself is broken. So when you push the button on there, if that's not actually actuating in that shifter, that may be hanging you up.
Yeah, and I don't know how mechanically inclined you are, but one of the quick tests, what I was going to say is you're in the garage, step on the brake. If you see the brake lights light up against the garage door, that means the brake light switch is working, or at least that section of it, and that's the component that lets the car know, hey, it's okay to start the car. What I'm confused about is, there's got to be a mechanical problem more likely with that, even if the mechanical lockout is not working.
But it's not necessarily going to be a problem with the actual transmission itself. It's going to be in the brake pedal switch. It's going to be the solenoid in the shifter, or the shifter itself, or the cable that runs out to the transmission. Those are the things that I think of, but nothing mechanically with the transmission.
And if that button is a lateral button that you push in, that has to go sideways, and then it has to push the other one down. So some of those shifters, they just have a single Phillips screw on them. You could take that off, push down mechanically yourself, and that might eliminate the shifter handle itself.
I got a question because I know you used to own tow trucks. Now that guy's can't get the thing out of the garage. Is a tow truck mule get that thing out of his garage?
Yeah, a good tow truck driver, yeah. Not a big deal. They have it's called Go Jacks on the car, so they can put little roller skate wheels and roll that out. If the car is pulled straight into the garage and it's a rear-wheel drive car, they can if the garage is accessible, they could back their tow truck right up and just pick it up from the rear end as long as the front tires are pointed in the right direction. So not that big of a deal, but it is definitely something you want to let them know so that when you call your road service, they're going to dispatch the right truck. And speaking of road service, if you're looking for the towing company or looking for road service, Dave, I think you're on the same page with me, and I believe it. The best place to get that is through your insurance company. You've got USAA, you've got Geico, State Farm, you name all the big insurance companies, even those small insurance companies.
And it's like $1 a month. It's nothing.
It is so cheap. Leave that Alphabet Soup Motor Club alone and stick with your insurance company. You're going to get just as good a service, if not better, and great road service.
When we come back, we've got a couple more calls. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys. We'll be right back.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at accurateautomotiveaz.com today.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurtz.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Thanks for joining us again today. Bumper to Bumper Radio is at the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo out at Westworld. And Dave, I'm glad we came out here. A lot of cool stuff to see. Boats, motorhomes. I got to go check those out. I know I can't afford one, so that's kind of like, just wishful thinking, I guess, some window shopping, right?
Did I see your daughters at the NRA tent signing up?
I have the three newest members of the junior NRA right here. That's right, Gabrielle, Claire, and Emily. The kids are having a good time out here. This is, I told them we're going to the Outdoors Expo. They're like, oh, it's hot outside. We have to go. I'm like, it's inside.
It's
They're like,
air conditioned.
They said it's outdoors. I said, no.
I should have brought a sweater. It's cool in here.
It's about hiking and camping and fishing in front, but it's indoors, so you're not outside sweating yourself to death. And the kids are having a good time fishing. They've got the dogs, doing the long jump after the Frisbee, launching, 24 feet? One of them went flying. They're not yapping right now, so that's kind of
I know.
Kind of cool, but
we got 4 phone calls. We got to get to it. Who do we got, Bree?
Alrighty, we've got Alicia in Phoenix with the 2005 Mercury Montego.
How can we help you, Alicia? You are on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning, Matt and Dave.
Good morning.
I got a 2005 Mercury Montego that, the motor was surge. Like if you put it in drive, you might get a surge. Especially when you put it in reverse, you get this surge. It wants to go, and you got your foot on the brake. Okay. What is that, and how to fix it?
Now, when you say surging, is it trying to go without? It's trying to push you, but you don't want it to go.
Yes.
Now, does that do that on the first time you start in the morning, or if you go out and go to the grocery store or do some errands or do whatever it is you do, then park the car and come out? Does it want to do it again on that startup as well?
No.
No? Okay.
It's intermittent as to when it will do it. Okay. Now, if I take it to a shop, it ain't going to do it.
Okay.
Because somebody's there going to know what to do about it. But when you put it, you can be like you're coming back from being out, and you put it in reverse to back it up in the driveway.
Right. Okay.
You get it. You put it in reverse, and it wants to go fast back. Wow. You got your foot on the brake, and I tell you how to make it stop.
Yeah, you got to be quick on your feet. Well, thanks for the call. And you know, I'm thinking a couple things, Dave. Intermittent, this is one of those situations where the owner of the car, if you come to my shop, you show up at Virginia Auto Service with this car, we're going to ask for probably a 2-day commitment. You're going to need to leave the car. If you come in Tuesday morning, we don't even plan to hear from you. We'll call you Wednesday afternoon. I mean, we might call you sooner than that, but we need some time. We might have a technician drive this car home. We need to experience it.
The intermittent things are very difficult to fix. So it sounded to me like maybe she at times has some sort of high idle.
Exactly.
Where it's having trouble running, so the idle air control is just really revving that motor up, and you put it into gear, boy, it wants to take off. You're hitting the stall on the converter at idle.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about maintenance and oil changes and crankcase ventilation and good fuel, and this is one of those examples. And I'm not suggesting that she's done bad maintenance on the car, but over time, the engine is ingesting all these oil fumes and through the crankcase ventilation, and it's very common to go in there and get the idle control motor or the throttle body carboned up, and that needs to be cleaned and removed. It could be something simple like that control motor is sticking because it's got gook.
And everyone says it. They say, as soon as I bring my car to the shop, it's fine. Well, you go to the doctor, you just don't feel sick anymore. You're like, wow, I'm wasting the doctor's time. Why am I here? If anyone listened, if you're out there and you got a problem with that, what you said, Matt, is they got to have the car for a couple days, and that's a good idea. And it may be intermittent to you, but we still can figure it out without having it act up. We may find a diagnostic trouble code that steers us, or we can visibly see something that's broken or something that needs attention. So it doesn't necessarily have to take 2 days, but if you've got one of those problems, just find alternate transportation. Say, hey, run errands in my car because I want to get this thing fixed. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Bree, I think we've got time for a couple more. Who's next?
Up next, we've got Mark from Peoria.
Mark, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. What can we help you with today?
Well, I've got a Ford E250 Econoline, my work van. About 2 years ago, anytime I would stop at a red light to make a right-hand turn, I make my stop. I get halfway. Once I start up, I get halfway through that right turn. I lose all power, everything. And by the time you try to look up at your panel, your power is back and you're on your way. About that went away, and about a year ago, now anytime I accelerate, the AC blower motor, you can still hear it running, but it quits blowing the air on you. And that's my issues.
Well, I was going to say at first, 3 left turns do make a right. So, avoid those right turns.
Brilliant. He's brilliant.
That's my most witty answer of the day. What's interesting now is talking about the air conditioning controls. So I'm starting to think about a vacuum leak possibly.
Vacuum leak is what I was thinking about for that.
What kind of things can have an effect when you're turning right? What happens when you turn right? The shift and the load and everything wants to go to the left. So do we have a battery cable, maybe a battery that's not secured right and it's tugging on something?
How many cars do you see with loose batteries? It's very common.
We had one catch on fire the other day. The mount was in place, but the battery, it wasn't tightened, so the battery slid over against the positive, shorted out, caught the car on fire. But those turning things are strange.
The one thing on transmissions people describe, but we have a problem when we're turning. Well, when you turn, the fluid in the pan sloshes over, and then the transmission takes a gulp of air, and it feels like it's in neutral, and then it comes back to life. So, hey, Bree, let's try and sneak in one phone call quick.
He's already off the line, guys, and you've got about 20 seconds, so tell everybody how awesome you are.
Oh, well, that's easy to do.
Well,
they already know.
You want to get out here to the Arizona Get Outdoors Expo. I believe next we've got Mike Russell with the Get Outdoors coming on. So you want to get out and see that and all the fun. And like Matt said, you can just Matt just dropped his kid at the door. He said, just go run around. Just go have fun.
Yeah. I loaded them up with $10 each. They're getting snow cones and pizza. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back and pick them up at 6. That's a cheap babysitter.
I'm a little more of a helicopter parent. I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, hey, you worry about your kids? No,
they'll be all right. Well, no, it's just a good time. This is truly a family event. It's indoors, which is nice. You're not outside just in this August humidity and weather, just sweating yourself to death. And it's nice. There's a lot of cool stuff to see and snacks. And like you said, Mike Russell's up with the Get Outdoors. The folks from AZ Firearms are standing by here. It's just a great event.
And remember, from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great weekend. Stop in for the Phoenix Children's Hospital. Make a donation at any one of the shops, bumpertobumperradio.com. We'll see you next week.
Are these the dog days of summer or what? You know that time of the year when you're counting down the final days on the calendar and debating whether you should do one more cool golf getaway weekend? Well, no worries. At Bunker to Bunker, we're celebrating with one last hurrah. On Saturday, August 22nd, our popular Bunkerville two-man scramble tournament is heading to the world-renowned Tom Fazio Mountain Course at the award-winning Lodge at Ventana Canyon in Tucson, nestled in the cool confines of the foothills of the spectacular Santa Catalina Mountains. The Lodge at Ventana Canyon is the perfect cool and quick getaway. Once again, we have created a great value. The tournament is just $89, which includes lunch, prizes, big raffle, and a free bounce-back golf coupon when you help us support Special Olympics. And our special bunker room rates start at just $95 a night. Great location, great value, and a really fun golf weekend with your golf buddies or golf hunting to end your summer. Space is limited. Sign up today at bunkergolf.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass